This is Ocarina of Time, and most of you watching have probably already played it, and if I were to guess, it went a little bit something like this. You're gonna get a note from a fairy telling you to kill a tree, get told to talk to Zelda from that same dying tree, you're gonna go feed bombs to a dragon, accidentally killing the dragon, and then you're gonna get married to a fish. Then, off to the Temple of Time where you play the Song of Time, opening a door of time, and getting trapped, as you can imagine, in time. Afterwards, grab all 6 medallions, then kill Ganon. Pretty simple, right? Well, in 2006, a speedrunner named Fluffy Kitten beat the game a little bit differently, and I wanted to go back and take a look at some of the older tricks that have been completely forgotten about and compare them to the newer tricks speedrunners are using today. A few things before we get started. First of all, this isn't actually the first ever recorded speedrun. The reason I chose this one is because in 2006, it had a good combination of old, and it had plenty of glitches for me to show off. Second of all, I live stream my own playthrough of this exact speedrun on my Twitch channel, so if you want to go check that out, links in the description. Now, surprisingly, the first 5 minutes of this any percent speedrun, it's basically the same as what runners do in 2024. We grab sword and shield and then go talk to the Deku Tree. But once we're in Deku Tree, we go completely off the rails and grab the slingshot for a few reasons, which we'll get to later in the run, but no speedrunners are grabbing slingshots except for obviously 100%, which they literally have to. So in current routes, right when you enter the Deku Tree, you're gonna get hit by a Deku Baba, which will light your sword on fire so you can burn the weapon. It's a lot more complicated than that, but we'll just leave it at that. We obviously aren't doing that here, so instead, we got this cool skip to save yourself from fighting a Skulltula. So this next part is kinda crazy. Runners are gonna use the same out-of-bounds clip that current Defeat Ganon runners will use, but instead of activating Gim, they just swim to the basement and enter the boss room. And then we fight Goma. This is where we use the slingshot for the first time to stun him instead of Deku Nuts, and then power crouch stabs to finish the job. And after the fight, as you can imagine, we're gonna watch every single Blue Warp cutscene in this game. In normal runs, we'll do a cool trick called Ganondorf, which was discovered in 2012, but unfortunately we gotta watch a cutscene. And fast forward, we're no longer gonna be comparing to Defeat Ganon, but we still got plenty of outdated glitches to look at, so don't you worry. Kinda like this bridge clip, which honestly, it's pretty much the same. We have a setup now, which is cool, but like, terrible example. Let's move on. And next up, we have this gate clip, which, again, not outdated. It's kind of pretty much the same. These are just horrible examples. Don't worry, I promise things are different. And now we're off to Haunted Wasteland, where normally runners would hest through this entire part, all the way to the Desert Colossus, but we don't even have bombs, and also runners back then didn't even know what hessing was. So we're gonna backwalk and then make our way without lens, which sucks. I hate it. Horrible experience. But we're at Desert Colossus, and we're here to get 2 things. 1, bomb shoes, and 2, Requiem, so we can come back as adult. Nothing really crazy happens in Spirit Temple, so don't even worry about it, but we got what we need. Bomb shoes, Requiem. And next stop is Death Mountain Trail, where instead of going to Goron Village and getting the bracelet, we're just going to use a bomb shoe on this boulder, and then it's time for Dodongo's Cavern. And also our second use of the slingshot. We got bomb shoe hovers, which I'm not going to go crazy onto how it works, but basically it's a glitch that will allow you to float mid-air, which to me is crazy to see in a run almost around 18 years ago. But afterwards, we grab bombs and then kill King Dodongo with more power crouch steps, and obviously another cutscene. Next stop, we are off to talk to Zelda. But before that, there's no way this movement's faster. I've not a clue what we're doing here. Then surprisingly, they know about this bomb jump instead of waiting for the Cuckoo to hatch, so save a little bit of time there. And sadly, no cutscene skip. But now that we have Zelda's Lullaby, we can go get magic. So we're back to Death Mountain Trail, and then we're gonna grab magic. And afterwards, we are on our way to Zora's Domain. And on our way there, we grab magic beans, which you don't even need for a casual playthrough, but we'll get to why later. Now we're gonna do a skip to stop us from playing Zelda's Lullaby. First, we're gonna grab the Cuckoo at the start of Zora's River, and then this waterfall here has actually a little bit of a spot behind it where you could slide right through, and using the Cuckoo, doing a precise jump, you're just gonna slide on through, and you don't have to play Zelda's Lullaby. And at this point, we gotta skip King Zora. There are a few different ways to skip him, but we're gonna do a bomb hover, which takes forever to do. And with no bottle, we gotta clip into Jabu Jabu, and then we're off to the 3rd dungeon. Now throughout this dungeon, it's a very normal playthrough up until this skip, which this skip's awesome. We're gonna throw Princess Ruto, and then after wait for the platform to go all the way back up, and then we're gonna bomb boost Soph, which by the way, when I tried it, it was really hard. It took me like 20 tries to do that. And for the last time as child, we are gonna kill a boss and then watch a cutscene. So before Temple of Time, remember those magic beans that we got? Here's where we're gonna put them, just outside Desert Colossus. Cool, that's all. And while we're here, we're gonna grab Nehru's Love. Just another thing that we don't even need in a casual playthrough. And I bet most of you watching have honestly never used it. But it's for a glitch later on, but honestly, I just thought it was a wild thing to pick up. Anyways, no Door of Time skip, so we gotta grab the Ocarina of Time, learn the Song of Time, and enter the... You know what I'm getting at. Anyways, first stop as adult, we're going to the graveyard, where we're gonna raise Dampé, grab the hook shot, and while we're here, we might as well pick up the shield. And now it's time for another glitch that has plenty of different ways to do it. First they did it over here, then from Dampé's shed, then they did a bomb shoe super slide from over here, and a hook shot jump over here. Basically what I'm trying to get at, this trick has been through a lot. But we're climbing Dampé's hut and gonna do a bomb hover onto the ledge, and we're just gonna walk to Shadow Temple. First thing in Shadow Temple, we're gonna grab the hover boots, and now we're off to this gate. Now there's a clip through the corner that we can do extremely easily, but didn't know about it, and we also got Nehru's Love, and this is where we're gonna do our first super slide. Normally you could do this without Nehru's Love with 2 bombs. I know sometimes you could do it with 1 bomb, but most people just do it with 2. But using Nehru's Love, we'll just do a super slide and get straight onto the boat. Pretty cool, right? Anyways, at this point we have no idea how to do any boss key skips, so we gotta grab the key. And since we didn't grab Dids earlier on, we do this cool little freeze trick using the Redead to get through this wooden part. And also because we haven't been to Forest Temple, we have to do another bomb super slide to get across the bridge using the hover boots that we just got. We're gonna kill Bongo Bongo, and again, watch cutscene. After that, we are back to Desert Colossus. Since we didn't grab gauntlets earlier, we got bomb shoes, remember? We gotta climb the statue. Now remember the seed we planted? We're gonna use that to get onto the arch where this heart piece is, and super slide across to the statue. And I know in GSR, sometimes you'll use the birds to hover, so it's very similar to that. This just looks super sketchy, and also very hard to do. And now we got silver gauntlets. Then we're gonna super slide across, kind of like what we did in Shadow Temple, and runners are still doing this exact thing to this day. Then we're gonna grab Mirror Shield to help us beat the boss. Another boss key to grab. Fun fact, this trick was done on one of the first ever recorded speedruns. I thought that was like kind of wild. And now we're gonna fight Naboru, basically with just a bunch of jump slashes. Nothing special going on here. After that, we got a pretty normal Twin Rova fight, and for the last time, we are gonna watch a blue warp cutscene. Psych! We got a light arrow cutscene. This one's mandatory, so we can't even skip it if we wanted to. Now for the last item that we need to beat the game, and that's the bow. So we're gonna backflip through this guy, because we don't have Saria's song, learn a song that we'll never use, and we're actually gonna use the Song of Time. I've never seen any speedrunner use the Song of Time. It is pretty much useless in speedruns, but we're gonna use it. And then surprisingly, we do this hover jump. No setup or anything, but still pretty cool to see this. And now for this next part. When first watching, I was like, why are we grabbing silver gauntlets? It makes no sense, kind of just a waste of time, right? But then I remembered, we did not grab Goron bracelet, so we couldn't even push these blocks. Instead of pushing the blocks, normally what runners would do is they would do a ground jump, which is funny because we do a ground jump right here to save time. Like, they were so freaking close to having the skip, like, it's so close. Anyways, we're gonna grab the bow, and we are off to Ganon's castle. And you're probably wondering, why do we have the bridge? Like, don't you normally need all 6 medallions to unlock that? Well, apparently not. You actually only need the final 2 medallions, so we got the Rainbow Bridge. And now we could do Ganon's Trial, but that's a massive waste of time. And 100% they use a bomb hover here against this wall, but instead we do this kind of cool clip through the wall, and then everything except for the barrier is loaded in, so we just walk right through. And now a Ganondorf fight. Pretty standard. Honestly, nothing really happens here. The only main difference is we do spin attacks and we don't really use a bottle to hit back the attacks. So kind of boring, wish it was more interesting, but can't ask for it all. And then the Ganon fight. So normally you can super slide into the fight to keep our sword, but obviously didn't know about that. Regardless, nothing too crazy going on here except for the fact that we are going to use nuts to kill Ganon. Absolutely love that. It's great to see another use for nuts. And that is the end of the run. Well, thank you all so much for watching. If I made any mistakes, just feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to correct them in the description. Also, I'll be continuing this as a series, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. And if you have any suggestions on speedruns I should talk about, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But I already know what I want to do for the next one.